Hello everybody, and welcome to another Sunday afternoon craft with me, James. And how are you? That's right, you can say, I'm fine, thank you. Hello, 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 how are you? I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, thank you. Alright, very good. So this time, I'll sing hello, how are you? And you can sing I'm fine. Okay? Are you ready? Here we go. Hello, 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 how are you? Very good. All right. So this time you can sing hello, how are you? And I'll sing I'm fine. Okay? Are you ready? Here we go. Hello. Very good. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you. All right. Let's do it one more time. Everyone together. Hello, 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 how are you? I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, thank you. All right, very good. Okay, so it's the end of November, and on the fourth Thursday of November, every year in the USA, our American friends celebrate Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving, they have a long weekend, and the family can gather together. Maybe not as much this year, but the family generally gathers together and has a big meal to celebrate the arrival of the pilgrims. And at this meal, they eat the Three Sisters, which we talked about way back in the summer when we planted the Three Sisters, if you remember that. So I'll put the link in the description. So the Three Sisters are corn, beans, and squash. And they also eat turkey. So today, for our craft, we're going to make a turkey. Alright, and for this craft, you'll need the template, which you can download from myteddyandfriends.com. And I'll put the link in the description below. You'll need some nice colorful leaves, or even brown leaves will do, because it's a turkey after all, and turkeys are brown. So some nice colorful leaves from outside, and if you want to make them flat, you can press them in a book for a little while, and that makes them nice and flat like this one. Alright, and of course we'll need our trusty glue stick, some scissors, and someone old enough to use them, and some crayons, and someone young enough to use them. Alright, so let's get started, shall we? Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to color some of the parts of the face of our turkey. And so you see we've got some shapes here. We've got some circles, one big circle, and two small circles. And these small circles, of course, are the eyes of our turkey. Alright, and then we've got this triangle here, a triangle with three sides, and that's going to be our turkey's beak. And then turkeys have this funny little thing that hangs off their chin, and that's going to be this heart here. So we'll start off by just coloring the beak and this thing here. I'm not sure what that's called. If you know, send me a message and let me know. Whoops. So let's see. I think for the beak, I'm going to color a nice orange beak. But of course, as usual, you're free to color your turkey any color you like. If you like a nice rainbow turkey, then you can by all means do that. So first I'll just color around the edges here. And we've got three lines that make up a triangle. 1, 2, 3. just go ahead and color in the middle. Alright. And then for my turkey's chin, I'm going to use some red. Let's see. So, and the same thing, I'm going to trace around the edge of my heart. All right. Now this half circle up at the top, this is going to be our turkey's tail. All right, and we're going to glue some leaves on there to make a nice big tail. Turkeys have great big tails that fan out to make them look really big. And then this is going to be our turkey's face, but we're going to glue the other parts of the face on here first before we cut it out, before we color it. So we're going to sit up and cut out these parts of our turkey. Okay? And of course, when we're cutting, we like to sit up nice and stable so that we don't fall down, because we don't want to fall down while we're cutting. Alright, so first I think I'm just going to cut off this half circle up at the top. And I'll just cut along this straight line. Nice and straight. Nice, easy warm up. There we go. Alright, and now I'm going to cut out this other part of the half circle. Alright, so I'll make sure that my fingers are way out of the way. And then I'm going to line up my scissors before I squeeze, and then squeeze. And as I go along, I'm just going to turn the page ever so slightly so that my scissors are always facing away from me. Do nice slow cuts so I can follow that half circle all the way around. Just like that. Alright, so we'll keep that piece. And this, of course, will go into the recycling bin later after we're finished. Alright. And so now these pieces are very small. So it's going to be tricky. Now if you want, you could just cut those out with a big rough cut around there and then cut them out. But I'm going to start with these eyes here. I'm just going to cut in until I get to the eyes. My hands are way far away, so I know where my fingers are. No pinched fingers. And I'm going to cut carefully, turning the page all the way around. I'm just holding it by the edge here. And there's a little bit here that can be trimmed off. I'm just going to hold it by the very edge and just trim off that little bit there. There we go. Now since we're coloring the rest of the face, if you don't do a perfect cutting job, it's okay because you can color it in a bit later. So, and I'll do the other eye and just fingers way out of the way and turning the page as I go along. Nice slow cuts. Make sure the scissors are lined up before you go. And oops, if I go a little bit too far, it's okay. And I'm just going to grab it by the very edge here and cut that off. And then I'm just holding it by the very edge, and I'm going to be very careful and just trim off this extra bit here. And lining up my scissors before I squeeze them. There we go. Okay. So there we go. We've got 1, 2 eyes. Right, and then the next bit is going to be our triangle. And we can just do a nice straight line. And another nice straight line, making sure we know where our fingers are. And I've gone past this bottom line so that way I can easily just cut it off. And I'm just going to grab the very tippy top of the triangle, and there we go. And now our beak is free. Alright, and the next is the heart. Alright, so I'm going to kind of roughly cut the heart out. I'm going to go along these nice straight lines here because they're nice and easy. Okay. And then for this other part, I'm just going to cut that off and hold the very, very point of the heart and slow cuts, line up my scissors before I squeeze, and just turn it ever so slightly, and turn it ever so slightly. And there we go. And that'll be our turkey's chin. And before I cut this out, I'm going to glue those pieces of the face onto this bigger circle and then color it in. So, set my scissors aside for now. And I'll grab my trusty glue stick. Alright, so the first piece that we'll want to do is the heart. And now, it's not going to go the right way up, right side up like this. We're going to turn that upside down, just like that. And then we'll put that with the two bumpy parts of the heart close to the edge of our circle. It doesn't really matter which way. Okay, so just like that. And then we'll take our turkey's beak, this triangle here. Alright. And we're going to glue that just over top of the point. So if you want, you can go all the way down here. It doesn't really matter. You can put it up here, you can put it there. We're going to put it kind of in the middle here. Just like that. Okay, and then we need our turkey's eyes. And it doesn't really matter how you put the eyes on. If you want your turkey to be looking straight ahead, you can put those black dots down at the bottom. But I like my turkey to look a little bit silly, so I'm going to put them at weird angles. Kind of like this. And then it looks a little bit sillier. Like, yeah, silly turkey. Silly turkey. Alright. Sometimes in English, if somebody's being silly, we call them a turkey, actually. Did you know that? Alright, and so now our turkey's got a face, but it's all white. So we're going to color that in. And I'm going to color mine in brown. But of course, it's all up to you. If you want a rainbow turkey, then you should do that. Alright. Now, just like when we normally color stuff, I'm going to color around the edges. Around and around, carefully. Just tracing the circle. And of course, we're going to cut this part out. So if you go over the edge like this, oops, it's okay. But it's always good practice to try and trace that circle all the way around and stay right close to that line without going over it. Oops, my crayon broke here. Now I'm just going to break it all the way because it'll be easier to color with. And I'll just use this small piece of crayon. You know, using small pieces of crayon is really great because then this is how you should actually hold a pencil or a pen. And because if you color like this, you can't really write like this when you start to learn to write. So small pieces of crayon can be great as long as you don't swallow them. Alright, so I've gone all the way around the edge. Now I'm also going to trace around all these parts that I glued on. Just slowly around the edges. I don't want to mess up the coloring I've already done, so I just want to go nice and slow. I can go around the eyes and the other eye. And then around the beak. That's the turkey's nose and mouth. Just like all other birds, it's got a nice hard beak. And around the beak there. Just up to the chin. And then around carefully around the chin. Gobble, gobble, gobble. That's the sound a turkey makes, did you know? Gobble, gobble, gobble. Alright, and then now I can just use some nice round and round to fill in all this extra space. Round and round and round. We eat turkey, we eat turkey, oh so good, oh so good. Always on Thanksgiving, always on Thanksgiving. Yum, 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 yum. We eat corn, we eat corn, oh so good, oh so good. Always on Thanksgiving, always on Thanksgiving. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. We eat beans, we eat beans. Oh, so good, oh, so good. Always on Thanksgiving, always on Thanksgiving. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. We eat pumpkin pie, we eat pumpkin pie. Oh, so good, oh, so good. Always on Thanksgiving, always on Thanksgiving. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Alright, there we go. Okay, so now I'm going to sit up again and I'll cut this out. And I think I'll start on this side because I've got lots of paper here that I can hold on to, so it'll be easier. And I'll just cut in slowly until I get to the edge. And then I line up my scissors. And as I'm cutting around, I'm just going to turn the paper slowly. Follow that edge all the way around. Now that I'm all the way around, I'm going to grab the far end of the circle. Just be careful that you know where your fingers are. And just slowly line up the scissors and turn the page. And there we go. Now for this craft we've got quite a bit of extra paper here. So you could save that if you wanted to draw some pictures of corn or beans or squash, or we can just put that in the recycling bin later and it'll be recycled. I've already used this paper a couple times. It was something printed and I didn't need it anymore, so I just used the blank side when I printed my template. Alright, so there we go. We've got our turkey's face, and now we need to make our turkey's tail. And for our turkey's tail, that's where we're going to need our leaves. So you might be wondering why I've got a big pile of books here. And that's because I went out and I collected some nice colorful leaves, and to keep them from curling up, I just put them in a book and put some other books on top of it so that they would get nice and flat. So we've got some great big maple leaves here, and then I've also got, I found these small yellow leaves. I thought they're long and thin. I thought those would make good turkey feathers. And then I've also got some brown leaves that I found. And so we can decorate our tail with those. Okay. So I'm going to start with the big leaves. Because if I put the small leaves on first and then put big leaves on top, guess what? We won't be able to see those small leaves. So let's see. I'm going to cut off the stems. Because I don't need those. And that can just either go back outside or go into the compost if you've got one, or the garbage. I'm probably going to just take them back outside so they can decompose. Alright. So I think I'm going to start with this great big one right in the middle, just like that. I know it covers up a lot of our tail, but then we can glue all the other ones on top of that. So, and I think I'm going to keep it up towards the top edge so that I have some paper here that I can still glue the smaller leaves onto. Okay, and now I'm not going to put the glue on the leaf. I'm going to put the glue on the paper. So, and the glue doesn't have to go all the way to the edge. Okay, we don't just want enough glue to stick that leaf on. We don't have to have a crazy amount of glue. There we go. That looks pretty good. And then I think I'm going to put these smaller leaves here. Now, depending on how clean your leaves are, you could wash them when you get them home. But I am going to put a little bit of glue on the leaf just to make sure that that other leaf sticks. Or those other leaves stick. Put the cap back on. Stick this one here. Like that. And this one over here like this. Alright, and of course we don't have to glue it all down because, you know what, a turkey's feathers aren't all stuck together in one big piece. Okay, and now I'm going to take these little leaves and this is going to get a little bit tricky here because I don't have very much paper left, so I will be putting glue on my leaves. Hopefully your leaves are nice and clean, otherwise your glue stick will get all dirty. There we go. Put a yellow one and then maybe a brown one. I'm going to try just putting the glue right on this brown leaf and see how that works. Alright. Yeah, that worked out alright. other side here. And then I'm going to do a yellow one. Yellow one on the left side. And another yellow one on the right side. And then maybe some more brown ones. Oops. These brown ones are really crispy. And they're all dried out. There we go. And maybe, since I've got just a couple more yellow ones here, whoops, see, when I put it in the book, it folded over, but oh, there we go. And maybe another yellow one on this side. There we go. Alright, and now I want to put my turkey's head just on here. So I'm just going to put glue on half of this circle and then glue that right on. And I'm going to put it on the back of the turkey's face. Now, when I'm doing this, I can look at my turkey and then I can grab on the chin and turn it over. Now I know that this is the bottom, right where the turkey's chin is, so that I can make sure I have the top half. Otherwise my turkey might be looking kind of funny sideways with his head turned. And when you're gluing, you can either put a piece of paper underneath, or just make sure that whatever you're gluing on can be cleaned. Like this board's pretty easy to clean, so I got some glue on there. Alright, and I'll just stick my turkey's head face right on there. And there we go, we've got a nice Thanksgiving turkey. Gobble gobble gobble, gobble gobble gobble, gobble gobble gobble. Gobble, 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 gobble. Happy Thanksgiving! And there we go, our Thanksgiving turkey. So I hope you enjoyed that craft. If you made a Thanksgiving turkey, please get your parents to take a picture and send me a message over on Facebook at Babylon Kids. There's a link in the description below, or you could share it on Instagram as well. And that link is also in the description. If you're looking for the recipe for pumpkin pie, my favorite recipe, last week's craft was a pumpkin pie recipe, and I'll put that link down there too. And the story of the three sisters, I'll put that link down there too. So, I hope you all have a very happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate Thanksgiving, and if not, I hope you just enjoyed making a nice fall craft out of some colorful leaves. And be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Gobble, 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 gobble. Well, I can say goodbye, you can say goodbye. I can say goodbye to you, you can say goodbye to me. Goodbye, goodbye to you. I can say goodbye, you can say goodbye. I can say goodbye to you, you can say goodbye to me. Goodbye, goodbye to you. I can say goodbye, goodbye. You can say goodbye, goodbye. I can say goodbye to you, goodbye. You can say goodbye to me. Goodbye, goodbye to you. I can say goodbye, you can say goodbye. I can say goodbye to you, you can say goodbye to me. Goodbye, goodbye to you. Bye. See you next time.